Morning YouTube. It's day 6 of the chick log, and I have to start out today with a confession. That video clip I made of that one chick with pasty butt yesterday, I watched it a little bit after the video was done, and it tried to go to the bathroom and it couldn't. So we had emergency pasty butt yesterday, and I had to leave it in the pen wet with the 25 other chicks. So let's see if anything went wrong there. It is 36 degrees this morning. Yeah, it's June, but 36 degrees. Let's see how they fared last night. I'm going to surprise you guys and clean this up one of these days. Okay, now that is some cold chicken. I don't know why. It is a chick crate, but they pile up in the corner. Hold on, let's open the lid. So piling is how they all bunch up in the corner like that. And the problem with it is they have a tendency to crush the guy that's in the corner. You can solve it by putting up some cardboard turns to make it more rounded, and then they won't bunch up so much. So that's tip 1 for the day. Tip 2, remember I told you the sky god thing, they're all afraid of me and hiding in the corner over there. If I stand still here long enough and shut my mouth, they calm down. Or if I come out enough and talk near them, they just get desensitized to it. Some people will take and play a radio, talk radio, near their chickens. I don't care if they're afraid of me, but I just don't want them to crush each other in the corner. So let's take a look at their food. Looks like they ate about 2 cups of food last night after I left them at 7 o'clock. And you can see that their water supply is down to the bend. This is normal. Their first few days, like I said, they had their reserves. They don't eat that much. They don't drink that much. And then their little engines get going, and they will go through that water bucket 2 times in a day. And this feed tray, I'm thinking by this time next week, will be gone in, I don't know, hour and a half. And then I'll have to refill it. Now, I will not keep the chicks on food all day long because that causes health issues, so I feed them twice a day. All right, we'll be back later for our pasty butt check because it is day 6. The chick on the end there, it's sitting down and eating. No good. They'll all want to do that, but I was surprised to see it at this age. I snuck up on them so they wouldn't all run off, and now they're used to me being here already, so they're not fleeing. But there you go. You can see they've completely filled their water. I'm gonna have to fix that. But this is the noon check. We're chilling, hanging out in our spots, not directly under the light. They're plenty warm. See you later. As you can see, they are overjoyed at the idea of doing the pasty butt routine again. But it's not my problem. If they would simply poop past their pin feathers, we wouldn't have to do this exercise. And they will when they get a little bigger. I already told you that the reporting of pasty butt from yesterday, I cleaned it up yesterday. That chick did very well. They didn't peck it to death. which is nice. Gonna chase these guys out of the corner. Come on, let's go. Come on. Out of the corner, let's go. Come on. Go to the other side of the wall. Everybody goes to one side. Not a chicken. Put up my hokey wall. Good. Now you get to see yellow. Here we go. Clean. I think I built this about 1 inch too tall. They're figuring out that they can get away from me, but I can just stand on my toes. They're so fast when they're little. Oh, let's see what this guy got going on here. We got the beginnings of pasty butt. Let me just clean it up really quick. Yeah, I know. Now this one, unlike yesterday's, does not have it all up on its vent, see? I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but its vent is still moving. It's just got some poop stuck to its feathers. And that will definitely start the process of pasty butt. So we're going to get that off of there. Because I do not bring hot water with me every trip out here. Go cut it out. I am not holding the chicken tightly. Its head's out, but that's a very loose grip between my index finger and my thumb. And if I just keep it down a little bit, it'll stay calm. And the reason I'm over here off camera is because the light's over here. It makes it so I can see. Almost got this one done. All better and not too wet, hopefully. Irritated for sure. One clean tushy. Clean tushy. Clean tushy. There's actually chicks just on the other side of the wall there that want to get on this side because there are chicks here. They're naturally inclined to be together. So when they hear the chicks, they want to come to them. When they get older, there's actually a song that they sing when one of them's missing to call that one back to them. And the one that's missing has a more panicked sound song that it sings until they're back together again. That's how I heard them. If I separate the group that is bigger will start singing the We're Here song, and the group that is smaller will start singing the Where Are You song. It's weird. Yes, I spend too much time with chickens. So far so good. Just that one, and it didn't actually have pasty butt. It just had the beginnings of pasty butt. Oh, you're fine. Look at those wing feathers. Aren't they awesome? Clean. That one was cleaned last time too. Clean. Can you see them down here? They're all trying to get to the three that aren't making a sound because they don't want me to get them and do a pasty butt check. Clean. If chicks only knew that their desire to run to corners when they're in danger was a liability, maybe they'd stop it. Come on, last chick. Let's go. I get to check you. There you go. One yesterday that I had to clean because it had serious pasty butt. And today we had the beginnings of pasty butt. So I'll check it in 3 more days. I don't anticipate having any pasty butt. And if I don't, then I'll stop checking. If I do, I'll check again in 3 more days after that. I'm going to take this out of here because they're all freaked out that they don't have their whole brooder. Chicks get over things amazingly quick. Like, oh, it's over? Okay, I'm good. They're not even in the corner. Very traumatic. The big giant black hand grabbed them and picked them up. So when I clean out the wood chips, I just basically drag my hand lightly across it like this. And yeah, I lose a little bit of food. This way it goes out onto the deck, or whatever. Just to give you a little volumetrics, I have 150 pounds of chick food. I expect that to get them to 6 weeks. After that, they'll eat about 50 more pounds of food, at least in their last week or week and a half. Now 6 weeks is normally the date that they go outside because they'll be completely feathered. But because it's warm, well, it wasn't warm the last couple of days, but because it's warm, they might feather out a little quicker. And if they do feather out enough that I'm comfortable with them being outside in the tractor, I'll just take them out and put them in the tractor. But they're going to get this chick starter stuff until it's gone. It's basically the same as the meat bird mix. It just has a finer grind. They're back in the corner again. Oh, we're afraid of the man. He's not even here. Except for these guys. They're hungry. Like, oh. Okay, so last night I put 3 cups of this and got it heaping. That was 1 cup. Had barely any effect on it. Two cups. I like to keep track of how much they're eating. Three cups, and it's got it back up to the heat space again. So they're eating 3 cups of food a day right now. They drink an inch of water since lunchtime. They're doing a pretty good job of not pooping in the water. If they poop in there, they have to take it outside and swirl the container to get the poop out. But check this out. Once they start doing this and I shut my mouth for a minute, they'll all come over here and eat this. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how they breed in this greed, but these chickens, they'll line up on both sides and they'll start bullying each other out of the way, and they will just eat. As a point of reference, remember when they first got here, they could barely reach over this lip. This is sitting on top of the bark. I actually pushed it into the bark, and already they're towering over the feeder and eating normally. This is why we call them Franken chickens. All right. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow.